I know one thing for certain: when I'm spending £9 on a bag of compost, I don't want plastic in it. I really don't want plastic in it. I don't want stones in it. I don't want sticks in it when I'm spending £9 a bag. I definitely don't want plastic in it at £9 a bag. Right, folks, time for the Westlands peat-free multi-purpose compost with added John Innes. I've got to be honest, I never really buy John Innes. I know it's good compost and it's full of lots of additives and stuff, but over the years I've never really, they've never sold it to me. I get just as good results out of normal compost over the years. So, but hey ho, if their peat-free compost is good, then we can roll with that, can't we? Let's crack this open and see what it's like. Try and save your bags. I know they come in plastic and it's a bit of a shame, more single-use plastic, but if you save them, they last for ages. And I've got some compost bags. I've got some compost bags that are like, I don't know, 6 years old, still going strong as refuse sacks. Oh, this looks alright. It smells more soily than the other one. And it's definitely got some more sand in there. There is more sand in there. Plastic, no. Right, let's bring the camera over, you can have a look in a second. Strip it out. Right, let's get the camera and you can have a look. Here we go, this is what we're looking at. That's not plastic by the looks of it, it's just a stone. It's definitely more sandy. I suppose that'll help with drainage. But peat-free compost, it's normally the water retention that is the problem. Something about me as well, you know, I don't want to be buying sand, I want to be buying compost. I can add sand, which is essentially one of the cheapest components of compost, myself if I need it. So yeah, there's 50 litres in here, but how many litres of sand? What's that? Is that another stone? Yeah, seems to be quite a few stones in here. It's obviously the gravel sand they've used. It's got coarse bits in it. Tell you what, there's nothing popping out obvious, is there? Yet. Nothing popping out obvious. But yeah. That's the one. Let's get sieving, see if we find anything interesting. This will probably be my last bag because my back is hurting after doing those 2 bags. I'd like to lift them through to the car. A bit of plastic there. And there. 2 tiny bits. Teeny tiny bits. A bit bigger than a grain of rice. So, even this one's not going to be peat free. Oh, there we go. Little plastic bag, shredded plastic. Leave this glove off. Oh, is that a bit there? Yep. Another tiny bit. Now the plastic in here seems to be a lot smaller on first inspection, which would say to me that they've got a better screening process for picking out the plastics. But my argument is there shouldn't be any plastics in it at all. It should be screened before they shred it up. Because what's happening is the plastic is getting through the screening process, if they're screening it at all, and then it's being shredded up and turned into microplastics. I very much doubt people are putting plastics, well, some people will be, putting plastics intentionally in the bin, but stuff is going to go in there. A lot of stones in here, a lot of stones. I'm not paying for stones, I'm paying for compost. This one is definitely more stony. Another thing that really annoys me with compost is when you get big lumps of clay, and I imagine we'll get that when we go to the cheaper compost. Because again, you're not paying for clay. There we go. What's that? What we got here? composted twig. It's fine. It's a big twig. We can forgive a big twig, can't we? So there we go, folks. That's what we're dealing with. Quite a few twigs, more twiggy than the last lot. Like I said, you're buying 100 bags of this. Eventually, you're going to end up with a bag full of twigs. Nothing wrong with it. They rot down and everything, but it's not what you're buying, is it? Again, this is where it comes down to soil conditioner and compost. Compost should be light, fluffy, and look something like that. Okay. These big twigs should have been graded out. They should have been sorted and sieved out before it was sold to us as compost. Yes, you can forgive the odd bit now and again, but there was 4 or 5 in here of big twigs, and it's obviously going to get more. Awful lot of stones. Look, they should be taking those out in the manufacturing process. They shouldn't be in there. You're not buying stones and you're not buying twigs. And you're certainly not buying little bits of plastic. So although this seems to be a better compost, it's got a good smell to it. It's quite sandy, more sandy than I'd like. It's still not perfect, is it? Okay, we don't want perfect, but we don't want plastic in there either. So there we go. Westlands peat-free multi-purpose compost with added John-ins. It's all right, but it's a bit stony and a bit plasticky. Right, let's get another terracotta pot. Let's just pack it in, push it down. Get the watering can. Okay, wrap this bag up and put it over there with the rest. Well folks, I hope you've enjoyed that. Yeah, I think as gardeners it's something that we've got to stand up and be counted for. I think with the way peat free is going, we need to use peat free. It's essential for the environment, but we've got to stop these corporations making crap and what could essentially set the whole peat free movement back a few years. There's no reason why we can't have good peat-free compost. I think the problem is with a lot of these corporations, especially when you're dealing with, you know, multi-million-pound unit orders and stuff, is they're just trying to fulfill orders for supermarkets, for garden centres and DIY stores, and so they're just putting any old rubbish in a bag, and it's not good. It'd be better if the gardening community come together and said, we don't want this anymore, we don't want this plastic crap in our compost, you've got to do better, and had it removed from sale, because essentially we're just spreading microplastics further and further around the country. I know there's an argument to say that horse has already bolted and there's microplastics everywhere, but just because that's probably the case doesn't mean we should continue doing it. I mean, all of these little bits of plastic that you find in the compost, it can so easily make its way into the watercourse and then back out into the oceans again. And also, we still don't know the effects of microplastics and soil contamination and how it affects food. We could be essentially putting the death knell on gardening for the future. In the next 10 years, if we keep using peat-free compost that's packed full of plastic, are we going to have a serious situation where it turns out that we've basically contaminated and ruined all of our gardens in the UK? I don't know, but I know one thing for certain: when I'm spending £9 on a bag of compost, I don't want plastic in it. I really don't want plastic in it. I don't want stones in it. I don't want sticks in it when I'm spending £9 a bag. I definitely don't want plastic in it at £9 a bag. Anyway, folks, as always, take care. Speak soon.